Alright, welcome to the channel. Today we will delve in the world of Sigmas to uncover the real reason why Sigma males will choose themselves over any woman, anytime, any day. For a Sigma male, life is about walking a path that belongs to him alone. He's not driven by the typical need to fit into a group, impress others, or play by society's rules. Instead, he's built to prioritize his own goals, comfort with solitude, and need for self-discovery. Unlike an alpha who thrives on social hierarchies, the Sigma male doesn't seek validation or play for power. He's a true individualist who finds value in his own company and often sees relationships, especially romantic ones, as a distraction or even a threat to his freedom. This mindset isn't about selfishness or superiority. It's about a deeply personal choice to embrace a life on his own terms. Sigma males understand that while relationships can be fulfilling, they come with demands and compromises that aren't compatible with their sense of purpose. They're not anti-love or anti-women. They're just pro-themselves in a way that's unapologetic and rare in a world that pressures people into partnerships. Below are 10 brutally honest reasons why Sigma males would rather choose themselves over any woman, anytime, and any day. These reasons capture the unique drive, clarity, and confidence that define their path, giving insight into what sets them apart from others. Each reason is a window into their mindset, their commitment to self-reliance, and their unwavering focus on living life by their own rules. Stick around with me until we get to the very end. Number 1. Freedom is non-negotiable. For a Sigma male, freedom is the highest form of self-expression. It's not just a preference, it's non-negotiable. He cherishes the ability to move through life on his own terms without constraints or obligations pulling him in different directions. Relationships that come with expectations or demands on his time and energy are a serious threat to this autonomy. The very idea of being tied down or belonging to someone feels like an emotional cage, one that restricts his ability to do what he wants when he wants. No matter how strong the attraction or connection, it's simply not worth compromising his independence. Sigma males are fiercely protective of their freedom because they know it's what allows them to thrive. It's the space where they can think, create, and grow without outside influence. They don't want to be dictated to or feel accountable to anyone for how they live their life. A relationship that demands emotional availability or constant presence is seen as a potential disruption to this freedom, and they'll quickly back away if they sense this happening. For them, freedom is the foundation of everything. It's the thing that keeps them true to themselves and their purpose. The moment a relationship starts to feel like a limitation, it becomes a deal breaker. In the eyes of a Sigma male, nothing, not love, not attraction, not even connection, will ever come before the right to live life as he sees fit. Additional point. Time is their most precious resource for Sigma males. For Sigma males, time is more valuable than anything else. They see it as their most limited and precious resource, something they can never get back once it's gone. Because of this, they're fiercely protective of how they spend their time. Every minute counts, and they're determined to use it in ways that align with their goals, passions, and personal growth. The thought of wasting time, whether on activities, people, or relationships that don't serve their larger purpose, simply doesn't sit well with them. If a relationship doesn't fit seamlessly into their already well-structured life, it's an easy decision for them. It's not worth their time. Sigma males don't get caught up in the romance of making time for someone just to make it work. If a romantic connection requires too much compromise, emotional energy, or disrupts their routines and aspirations, they'll quickly move on. For them, the bigger picture always takes precedence. They understand that time can't be reclaimed, and they don't want to look back and regret spending it on something that didn't contribute to their personal evolution. Every action, every decision has to propel them forward toward their goals, whether it's advancing in their career, pursuing a hobby, or simply staying true to their own principles. Relationships that drain time or demand more than they're willing to give simply don't fit into the equation. For a Sigma male, time is the one thing that cannot be wasted, and they live by that truth every day. Number 2. They live with purpose, not for approval. Sigma males live life with a strong sense of purpose that comes from within. They aren't interested in external validation, whether from a romantic partner, society, or anyone else. Their actions are driven by their own principles and personal goals, not by a need to be liked or admired. This inner compass is what keeps them grounded and gives them a deep sense of satisfaction that doesn't depend on anyone else's opinion. To a Sigma male, life isn't about following trends, meeting expectations, or proving anything to anyone. It's about staying true to his own path. Relationships that demand constant reassurance or that hinge on proving worth are exhausting to him. He sees no point in bending himself to fit someone else's mold or in altering his personality to gain approval. If a relationship requires him to constantly perform or seek validation, it feels like a betrayal of who he is. The Sigma male's worldview is fundamentally at odds with this kind of approval seeking because he values self-respect over social acceptance. He would rather be alone and true to himself than be with someone who expects him to change for their approval. This doesn't mean he's cold or unfeeling. It means he's fiercely loyal to his own identity. Living with purpose means he's free from the need to play roles or meet anyone else's standards. This kind of freedom is what he treasures most, and he's unwilling to give it up just to please someone else. Number 3. Loyalty to their inner circle comes first. For a Sigma male, loyalty is a rare and serious commitment reserved only for a small, carefully chosen circle of people who have earned his trust over time. Unlike others who might pour their energy into romantic relationships right from the start, he feels no need to prioritize a partner above the people who truly know him. To him, loyalty isn't just about who's around at the moment. It's about shared history, deep understanding, and the quiet support that doesn't need words. These relationships have been built slowly and thoughtfully, tested over years, and are rooted in genuine respect. When a Sigma male gives his loyalty, it's for life, and it isn't swayed by new relationships. He won't sacrifice these long-standing bonds or let anyone come between him and his closest people. His loyalty to this inner circle is almost unshakable because it's based on mutual respect and honesty, not fleeting attraction or romantic excitement. He's not going to risk these connections just because someone new enters the picture, no matter how appealing they might seem. This loyalty isn't a rejection of romance. It's simply that he values real, enduring connections above all else. His inner circle represents his core, people who know his real self without any pretense. For a Sigma male, loyalty isn't about promises. It's about unbreakable bonds that have stood the test of time. Anyone new in his life would have to earn that kind of commitment, just as his inner circle has, because to him, loyalty means everything. Number 4. An inherent desire to protect their own energy. Sigma males have a sharp instinct for protecting their own energy. They understand that relationships, no matter how fulfilling, inevitably come with emotional demands and obligations. It's not that they're against closeness or connection. They just know that they have a limited supply of mental and emotional resources, and they're very careful about where they invest them. To a Sigma male, energy is precious, something to be spent on what truly matters to him, whether that's his career, his personal projects, or the hobbies that bring him fulfillment. For a Sigma, energy isn't just about physical stamina. It's about the focus and clarity he needs to pursue his ambitions. He knows that relationships often require compromise, emotional support, and a kind of mental space sharing that can dilute his focus. The last thing he wants is to be pulled in too many directions or to feel that he has to sacrifice his personal goals for someone else's needs. While he might seem reserved or even detached, it's actually a deliberate choice to conserve his energy for what he values most. This isn't selfishness, but self-preservation. Sigma males know themselves well enough to realize that their sense of purpose and satisfaction comes from within, and they're committed to protecting that. By guarding his energy, a Sigma male can stay fully committed to his own path, free to pour his resources into the things that genuinely drive him forward. For him, this approach isn't about isolation. It's about maintaining control over his own life and ensuring that his energy is never wasted. Number 5. They see emotional dependency as a trap. Sigma males have a deep aversion to emotional dependency, seeing it as a trap that can limit their freedom and self-sufficiency. While many people enter relationships seeking to fill emotional gaps or relying on others for validation and support, Sigmas view this as a dangerous path that compromises their emotional autonomy. To them, depending on someone else for emotional fulfillment is a vulnerability they refuse to entertain. They value their inner stability above all else, and see any relationship that demands constant emotional attention or nurturing as a risk to their peace of mind. For a Sigma, emotional independence isn't just a preference, it's a crucial part of their identity. They've learned to maintain their emotional balance through self-reflection, introspection, and personal growth. And they're unwilling to risk it by attaching their sense of worth or stability to another person's needs or moods. The idea of being emotionally reliant on someone else feels like giving up control, and they don't want to place themselves in a situation where they're at the mercy of another's emotional state. They understand that relationships can bring joy and connection, but they believe that emotional dependency is inherently limiting. Sigmas will always choose emotional autonomy and clarity over the complex emotional roller coaster that comes with expecting someone else to fill that void. For them, the strongest and healthiest relationships are those where both individuals maintain their own emotional independence, free from the traps of dependency or expectation. Number 6. A no-drama rule for protecting his peace. For a Sigma male, peace of mind is not just important, it's essential. He values his inner calm as the foundation for everything he does, and he's learned that relationships, even the healthiest ones, can disrupt that. Relationships bring with them all kinds of emotional highs and lows, demands for compromise, and yes, inevitable drama. It's not that he's cynical or unwilling to connect, it's that he has a clear understanding of his own boundaries and knows what he needs to feel balanced. To him, protecting his peace is more than a preference, it's a core priority. A Sigma male knows that drama doesn't just come from conflict with others. It also comes from the complexity of emotional attachments, the need to constantly navigate expectations, and the tension that can arise when trying to fit someone else into his life. Rather than risk his stability on the unpredictable roller coaster of romance, he chooses the steady, reliable world of his own company. In his mind, this isn't about people out, but about keeping his life as straightforward as possible. By setting a no-drama rule, he's not rejecting relationships altogether. He's just creating a boundary that helps him live the way he wants. In this space, he can think clearly, work on his goals without distraction, and enjoy a sense of self-containment. To a Sigma male, this kind of solitude isn't lonely, it's liberating, offering him the quiet and freedom he needs to truly thrive. Number 7. Skepticism toward romanticized notions of completion. Sigma males are deeply skeptical of the idea that anyone else can complete them. They see this concept as a social script designed to make people feel as though they're missing something essential if they're single. To a Sigma male, this is not only untrue, but also a distraction from the more important work of becoming whole on his own. He believes that fulfillment comes from within, from personal growth, resilience, and understanding himself. To rely on someone else for a sense of wholeness feels to him like giving away control over his own happiness. This mindset isn't about rejecting love or companionship, but about refusing to build his life around it. The Sigma male sees that too often. People enter relationships expecting their partner to fill gaps in their lives or personalities, only to be disappointed when reality sets in. He considers this a fragile way to live, one that sets people up for dependency, heartbreak, or constant searching for validation. Instead, he'd rather cultivate his own strengths, confront his own weaknesses, and create a life that feels rich and fulfilling on his own terms. For a Sigma male, the goal isn't to be completed by someone else, but to become a complete person in his own right. This approach gives him independence and a strong sense of self-worth that isn't tied to anyone else's presence or approval. It's a choice to live fully without waiting for someone else to make him whole. Number 8. They're obsessed with self-mastery. Sigma males are driven by an almost obsessive need for self-mastery. Personal growth isn't just a goal for them, it's the core of their existence. Whether it's learning new skills, exploring different philosophies, or pushing themselves beyond their comfort zones, they're always in pursuit of becoming the best version of themselves. For a Sigma, every experience, every challenge is a stepping stone toward a deeper understanding of who they are and what they're capable of. They're not content to simply exist. They want to evolve, constantly improving both mentally and physically. This dedication to self-mastery means they place a high value on independence and the freedom to chart their own course. If a relationship threatens to slow down their personal growth, even in the slightest, they'll step back. The idea of losing time or energy that could otherwise be spent on developing their skills or achieving their goals feels like a sacrifice they're not willing to make. Relationships, in their view, are optional. They might add value, but they're never a priority over their own self-improvement. For Sigma males, self-mastery is mandatory. They understand that their worth is not defined by external approval or romantic attachment, but by their ongoing ability to challenge themselves and achieve their own standards. They're not looking for someone to complete them or validate their journey. They're too focused on mastering their own life to let anything distract them from that mission. Number 9. Intimacy without clinginess. Sigma males understand intimacy, but they have got a clear line drawn when it comes to emotional dependence. They are open to genuine connections, the kind that come with shared understanding and respect. However, they have no patience for clinginess or emotional neediness that demands constant attention or reassurance. To them, intimacy is about depth, not suffocating attachment. They appreciate closeness, but they also know that personal space is a vital part of what keeps them balanced. What sets a Sigma apart is the ability to connect without feeling the need to own someone or be owned in return. They are not looking for constant validation, and they certainly don't want to feel obligated to keep someone emotionally afloat. When a relationship starts leaning toward emotional dependency or demands too much of their mental energy, they'll pull back. They understand that true connection doesn't require constant presence, and it definitely doesn't require them to lose themselves in someone else's emotional drama. If a relationship threatens their solitude, they won't hesitate to choose being alone. It's not a rejection of intimacy. It's a rejection of anything that compromises their freedom to recharge, reflect, and stay focused on their personal journey. The Sigma male values time alone as a way to maintain his clarity, peace of mind, and independence. So, while he may enjoy intimacy, he knows that the moment it turns into something draining or stifling, he'll always prioritize his own space. Number 10. Prioritizing intellectual growth over emotional attachment. Sigma males see intellectual growth as the foundation of a meaningful life, far more lasting than the temporary highs of emotional attachment. For them, relationships can be rewarding, but often come with expectations, compromises, and distractions that pull attention away from personal evolution. Instead, they pour their energy into deepening their understanding of the world, honing new skills, and challenging themselves mentally. Reading, exploring unique ideas, or mastering a craft are not just hobbies. They're essential to their sense of purpose and identity. To a Sigma male, self-education is sacred. It's a path to self-discovery and clarity that no relationship can replace. This focus on intellectual growth comes from an understanding that romantic attachments, while fulfilling, can fade or shift, bringing uncertainties that may not align with his goals. Relationships come with the risk of clouded judgment or emotional entanglement that can muddy his focus. By choosing personal evolution, he feels he's investing in something permanent, something that no one else can control or take from him. While many find purpose in companionship, Sigma males find it in cultivating their inner world. They believe that a strong, independent mind is the most valuable asset they can develop, a source of pride and satisfaction that grows stronger over time. In choosing intellectual growth over emotional attachment, Sigma males are committing to a path that brings them deeper insights, freedom from reliance on others, and a lasting sense of fulfillment. As we wrap up, Sigma males don't fit into anyone else's mold, and they sure as hell won't shape themselves to satisfy someone else's needs. They figured out that true fulfillment comes from within, not from someone else's approval or emotional dependence. They choose themselves because they've realized that no relationship should ever threaten their peace, freedom, or personal growth. It's not about being anti-love or rejecting human connection. It's about prioritizing their own purpose and well-being above anything that could derail their journey. These men don't need to be completed by anyone. They're whole on their own, and that sense of completeness allows them to approach life with clarity, independence, and a relentless drive for self-improvement. They see relationships as optional, not essential, and certainly not something to be pursued at the expense of their time or emotional stability. They're aware that most relationships come with complications, and they're not willing to compromise their autonomy for the sake of convenience or temporary attraction. If a relationship doesn't align with their goals or threaten their freedom, they might entertain it, but it will never overshadow the one constant they can rely on themselves. Sigma males aren't afraid of solitude. They thrive in it. They know their own worth and understand that, at the end of the day, their personal growth and peace are the only things that truly matter. So, when it comes down to choosing between themselves and any woman, they won't hesitate. They'll choose themselves every time because they know that no one and nothing will ever come before the life they've built on their own terms. If this video resonated with you, consider subscribing to our channel for more content on the Sigma personality and other related topics. Don't forget to hit the like button and let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Share this video with someone you think needs to see it. Thank you so much for watching. See you in our next video.